Mambo smiled as he stood before the towering structure, nearly complete. This was more than just a building. It was the crowning glory of his family, a temple dedicated to the snake goddess herself. The snake had become a symbol of power and wealth, drawing people from far and wide who wished to witness the deity that had blessed Mambo's family with such an extraordinary gift. Visitors arrived with riches in hand, hoping for the goddess to bestow the same blessing upon them. For some, Mambo attempted to summon the goddess, but she never appeared. It was as if the gods themselves had closed the vortex, preventing her from coming forth. Over time, however, women in Mambo's bloodline began to give birth to children with the gift naturally passed on through their veins. It was then that they realized the gift could be transferred through blood. With this revelation, the snake people began to forge powerful alliances, sealed through marriage. Their influence spread across the world, and the gift of snake blood became a prized possession, available only to the wealthy. However, for the common people, the gift became a curse. No longer free, they were forced to serve the snake people, building monuments and enriching their masters beyond measure. Those who dared resist were sacrificed to the goddess, while the lucky ones fled to hide in caves. Mambo, standing on the temple steps, watched the workers below with fear in their eyes. The goddess demanded obedience, and he was there to deliver it. Yet deep within, something unsettled Mambo. The air felt heavy with tension, and the shadows seemed to creep closer, as if something unseen was waiting. Unbeknownst to him, God was watching intently. Mambo turned away, trying to shake the unease, focusing on the near-completed temple and the summoning of the goddess it promised. But the days of the snake people's glory were numbered, and soon they would face a natural exterminator. You are watching the Tales of the Savannah. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now let's get back to the story. The snake goddess rushed through her grand mansion, her movements quick and purposeful, as she barked orders at the servants, pointing at decorations and giving precise instructions on where everything should go. Tonight, she was hosting the most prestigious party of the year, a gathering for the upper echelons of the gods. Everything had to be perfect. "Morning Star," she shouted. "I've been looking for you. Where have you been?" Morning Star appeared from the shadows, a playful smirk on his face. "I've been going to and fro on the earth, seeking whom I may devour," he said, quoting an ancient scripture with a teasing tone. The snake goddess rolled her eyes but smiled. "Have you heard? They're building a temple for me. What an honor." "Yes, indeed," Morning Star replied, grinning. "Congratulations. It seems you've come a long way since your days in the garden," he added, with mock admiration. "You've got a lot of jokes today," she said, raising an eyebrow. "But seriously, I owe it all to you, my friend. I wanted to formally invite you to the best party of the year. All the first-tier gods and goddesses will be there. Can you believe the god of water is going to be in my mansion? I still can't believe I even have a mansion." Morning Star's smile faded slightly. Though he loved seeing her excitement, there was a shadow behind his eyes, a weight on his shoulders. "Goddess," he began, his tone suddenly serious, "you might want to sit down for this." The sudden shift in his voice made her heart skip a beat. She hurried to sit, her hands trembling slightly. "What is it? You're scaring me." Morning Star stepped closer, his face grave. "A reliable source has informed me that the people have cried out to God. You will be summoned today, and your people's fate will be decided. You are to discover who will become your people's natural exterminator." The snake goddess froze, her eyes wide with shock. "What? So soon?" she whispered, barely able to find her voice. Morning Star's expression was grim. "There's no way of knowing who it will be. It could be the lion god, the god of war, anyone. The people must choose, but in the end only God knows for now." The weight of his words hit her like a punch to the gut. The carefree joy of party planning vanished in an instant. She had never expected this day to come, not like this, and not now. Morning Star stepped back, and before she could ask any more questions, he vanished without a word, leaving her alone with her thoughts. The room felt colder. The walls seemed to close in as the enormity of the situation settled in. Suddenly, a bright light filled the room. A messenger angel appeared, his face stern and unreadable. "Snake Goddess," he said, his voice ringing with authority. "You have been summoned to appear before God and your peers." He handed her a scroll with the royal decree. "The fate of your people will be decided today." Gripping the scroll tightly, her heart pounded. The grand party was now the furthest thing from her mind. Everything was about to change, and there was no telling how it would end. Zorro woke with a sudden jolt, a sinking feeling in his chest. Something was wrong. He could hear hurried footsteps echoing outside the hut. Glancing quickly over to Tendai's bed, he saw it was empty. Panic gripped him as he slipped out quietly, not wanting to wake Sire. His heart pounded as he tiptoed outside to see what was happening. The door to grandmother's hut was wide open, and dread washed over him. As he moved closer, Tendai appeared in the doorway. "What have you done, Tendai?" Zorro demanded, his voice low but filled with despair. Tendai glared at him, unblinking. "I know what you did last night with Father. I couldn't let you finish it." Zorro's blood boiled. "Are you out of your mind, Tendai? Do you want to end your life?" he growled, clenching his fists. "We're trying to save you." Tendai's eyes narrowed, his lips curling into a sneer. "Save me? You call this saving me?" he hissed in defiance. Zorro stepped forward, fury burning in his chest. "How could you let the boy go?" he shouted. Tendai hissed in response, his skin rippling as the faint outline of scales appeared. "So, you want to bite me now?" Zorro asked, his voice low and dangerous, his eyes locked on Tendai. The tension grew as Tendai's transformation began. His skin shimmered, turning snake-like, his body shifting as if preparing to strike. Zorro felt his own ancestral blood surge within him, the hunter's spirit awakening. Tendai, defiant, circled Zorro, trying to summon the power of the colossal snake within, but something was off. He couldn't reach the beast inside. Suddenly, Sia appeared from the house, alarmed. "What in the goddess's name is going on?" he shouted. Seeing Tendai mid-transformation ignited Sia's hunter spirit. "Tendai, change back," he warned. Zorro's eyes glowed, his veins bulging. "I should have ended your life when I found out what you were," he snarled. Tendai hissed, "Then why didn't you?" Just as Zorro prepared to strike, frantic footsteps approached. "Stop!" a voice called. "Grandmother says not to harm the boy. There's another way." Mami Abeni's grandson appeared, breathless. At the boy's plea, Tendai reverted to human form, and Zorro released the hunter spirit, calming himself. They turned toward Mami Abeni's homestead, knowing that whatever alternative she offered would come at a steep price. The goddess appeared to Amina in her dream, her voice soft yet commanding. "You must wake up, Amina, it is time." Amina stirred, her heart racing. "But I'm not ready," she whispered, fear gripping her. "Your people are looking to you to save them," the goddess gently whispered into her ear. "They need you." The words jolted Amina awake, her breath sharp as she sat up in the dimly lit room. She could still feel the presence of the goddess lingering around her. "She was here," Amina whispered to herself, trying to steady her racing heart. "Calm down, Amina," came a soothing voice from the doorway, a voice she knew all too well. "Mother," Amina breathed, relief washing over her as she saw the familiar face of Mama Amina, the woman who had raised her. "Black Rose told us that you would come, and here you are," Mama Amina said with a warm smile. "Welcome home, my child." Amina embraced her mother, the woman who had cared for her since she was a little girl. But now Amina knew the truth. Mama Amina held her close for a moment, then whispered to a nearby woman, "Let them know she is awake." Amina took a deep breath and prepared herself for what was to come. She stepped outside, her heart pounding as she faced her people. They had gathered, waiting in silence, their eyes filled with hope and uncertainty. This would be her first time addressing them without Asa. She felt the goddess's presence again, her voice a gentle echo in her ear. "They need you," the goddess whispered once more. Standing tall, Amina's gaze swept across the crowd. "My people," she began, her voice steady yet firm, "I know these times have been difficult, but today marks a new beginning, a chance for us to rebuild and make this place our home." Her people stood at attention, their faces full of hope and trust. Though the future was uncertain, they were ready to follow her wherever she would lead them, confident that Amina would rise to meet whatever challenges lay ahead. This was only the beginning. And that, my dear tribe members, brings us to the end of yet another episode in our Snake People series. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey, from the heavens through space and time, all the way to the present day. A special thank you to our generous tribe member for the super thanks. May you be blessed with abundance. Thank you all, and until next time. And as always, thank you for watching our story, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time in the Savannah.